Hey, y'all. I don't know if anybody's even here today.
Is the microphone on?
Yeah, pretty sure it's on.
Excuse me.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that is here, but it looks like this isn't updating. I just gotta refresh this thing here because lately this stream has just been like
buggy.
See?
Chat is disabled.
Weird.
It did that last time, but you fixed it somehow.
How?
I don't know.
Settings. Nope, that's just maybe. Sorry, y'all. Did I do something wrong? Oh, yep. Super exciting.
Sorry, but we can't see any comments right now.
Let's see if this works now.
Maybe if you...
Oh, wow, you can do this, edit this title here.
Did you do the title?
Yeah, I did it. We're just going to have to do it old school.
Oh, wow. All right, T is here.
Pop out. Pop that guy out. Plop that guy right there. Plop that guy right there. We're going to do it that way.
It's not technically a sequel, but you need to read the other road books.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could definitely have fun with this. Okay, we're talking about Six Sacred Swords, which is technically the fifth book that in this series, if you want to call the whole thing a series. Like I don't know. Does he have other books that we don't know of, like other smaller books or anything? Okay, so this is his fifth book, I believe, that he wrote, and they're kind of interconnected. They're in the same world. They take place in the same universe, the same world, the same planet, pretty much. Except this one takes place in the same land that Sufficiently Advanced Magic and on the Shoulders of Titans takes place. So we're going to spoil this book. So if you haven't read this, come back later once you have read it, because we both really like this book, and we're going to talk about all the spoils.
Yeah.
All the spoils.
So just to put it out there, what did you rate it? What did everyone here rate it? I think I rated it a 4.5. It was by far, I think, my favorite, and I have like very specific reasons why I liked this book. T said she gave it a 4, she thinks. But what I really appreciated about this book, and
is that what you appreciated about this book?
Is that it's one perspective, one storyline, and I loved the fact that it didn't have a bajillion characters with a million different names. It was a very small set of characters. They all went by one name, and it was one plot and one character that we all like. Letterkenny again. Yes. We watched it last night, so I think I'm on season 2 now. But, yeah, that's, like, my major thing that I loved about this, that, like, it was super easy to follow. I mean, we had some comedic relief in it, like the sword. I loved
the sword. I love Dawn. She's, like, I think she was my favorite new character. Obviously, there wasn't really a lot of new characters. Okay, so let's go over, like, I would say did you have any gripes with it? Did you have any what made it not, like, a star? As opposed to you gave it a 5, you said?
No, 4.5.
Okay, what made it not a 5?
I only took off a little bit because in the very...
Everybody else give me your answers too. Like, if you didn't give it a 5, like, what made it not, like, that great?
Because I think a 4.5 is still really good, but the only thing is, like, I had to kind of get used to the sword, to be honest. That personality was a little too much for me at first, and then once I got used to it, I appreciated it. And
once you, like, I feel like he did a good job of developing, like, why she was so sassy.
Yeah.
Why she was so annoying, you know, like there was a reason behind it. It wasn't just her personality is like that.
Yeah.
It was like it was the only way that she felt like she could affect the world in some way, not actually being able
And
to do
plus,
anything
she
by
was
herself.
also very sheltered.
Yeah.
It's like, think
She was
about
almost
it.
like a
Both
child.
her and Reika
Were
were
like
like children almost because they were so isolated and sheltered that like they didn't
I thought
interact
Reika was
with people.
super cool. She was like super cool.
Yeah.
And like I liked how open their relationship was to like just they said what they thought. You know, they both like were, and he even makes a statement about it how it's amazing to just have somebody that he could just tell the truth to and understands. Thought that was really awesome.
T said the major thing that I didn't like is that Karis sounded so young, even younger than he even was as Talion. And I understand that. Because he didn't resonate Karis for me at first, but once you make that connection, which I think is a huge spoiler, by the way, the fact that Karis is Talion is a major spoiler in my eyes.
How much cooler would it be, guys, if you like read you read the Mirror series, right, the first two, and then you went and started Sufficiently Advanced Magic, and like they introduced Karis, but like at the end of the other thing, you knew that Karis was Talion. You'd be like, oh man, that's totally Talion. Oh, this is gonna be so cool.
But
When the characters
me,
finally find out who he is, like it would bring it together. And I feel like when I found that out, it made me like the old his Mirror series 1,000 times more. Like now it's like watching the original Iron Man, knowing what Tony Stark does later on in the series. It's like it makes those movies so much better because like you know that these characters will grow into this new thing. So like not knowing that originally made me like not really like Talion or whatever.
I disagree. Like I feel like the cool part is learning that and coming to your own conclusion and realizing that that's who that was.
They literally
because,
like it's him. I could tell by the cover.
Okay, but like people that don't pay attention to that stuff, like you find out because yes, in this book he is very much like Talion, and you're putting the clues together, and it makes it cooler.
He talks about his aura in the first chapter,
but it makes it cooler.
And his sword. And the destructive aura.
It makes it cooler that you are the one that figures that out and not someone telling you.
I figured it out before you did.
But I'm just saying,
and I told you about it
when you figure it out on your own.
But I'm the one that figured it out, and I didn't think it was cool to figure it out. Ugh. I wish I knew before because that would have made me more excited about the other book.
He says at one point it says it was years before Sufficiently Advanced Magic, but I don't think I saw Karis really yet. I mean, I do think it's years before that happens.
Yeah.
Chrissy said, I've only read Forging Divinity by Andrew Rowe. Not my favorite series. So that means that he went by the name Karis when he was a kid. Well, think about it. Karis must have been a name that he used or someone used at some point, because they mention Karis in Forging Divinity.
So I'm wondering if if the Broken Mirror series, this next book, the third one that we haven't read yet, if it's gonna lead into their journey into this.
But why did they mention Karis in book 1?
Well, because it was just a name that he had made up, right? At that point, like he hadn't written all of this.
They knew about it, and he was a kid.
No, Karis wasn't a kid at that point. She said that he reminds me of Karis.
So you think it's a different Karis?
Said he reminds me of young Karis. And then she said, well, Karis is technically a man now. So it's like she knew a Karis when she was younger, but now he is or when he was younger. And then
so it's a different Karis.
Yes. The one that they mentioned, yes. Unless there's some timey-wimey stuff.
When he went by the name Karis when he was a kid, then he went by Talion, then back to Karis, because Lydia remembered him as Karis when she saw him.
No, but she didn't remember him as Karis. Unless she did remember a kid named Karis when he was a kid, and then he changed his name, and now she forgot that it was him. Like that, I guess it's a possibility, but they haven't stated that.
Hello, Kerbo Customs. Yeah, so she's saying like it wouldn't have been. You wouldn't if we read it in publication order. We wouldn't what?
No.
True. So like it would have been more of a surprise.
I mean, in the second book, he starts messing with metal sorcery and stuff. In the second book, the Sufficiently Advanced Magic, the second one.
On the Shoulders of Titans.
Yeah, he starts. He makes Dawnbringer, the replica Dawnbringer, which is super cool because I don't remember him saying that like he was the wielder of Dawnbringer like at all.
You wouldn't have known it was Karis if you hadn't read Sam first.
But you would have. This book is new. This is the latest one. Right? So publication order would be 1, 2, Sufficiently Advanced Magic 1, 2, and then this. So you wouldn't have read Sufficiently Advanced Magic if you didn't read it in publication order. What are you supposed to read then? And you have to read it because the beginning of this book literally takes place on the train. And he starts his story from the end of the last book. I love how it ended, by the way. Back on the train.
It's totally going to be...
I was like, yes!
Like, where it ended, it's going to be the third book.
Yeah, it's going to be so freaking good. He's like, we're getting robbed. Oh, look, I just got goosebumps. Yes! I was so excited about that. He's like, he said something like that, right? He's like, everybody get ready because we're about to get robbed.
And people should figure it out on their own, and you shouldn't spoil it for people outside of this video. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I told Jeff.
And it's a spoiler because his reaction was like, "Oh dang."
Jeff has a friend of mine. Very much always didn't really care about spoilers. Like I could tell him what happens at the end, and he wouldn't care.
He would still read it.
Yeah, he doesn't care about like the surprise as much. At least that's what he always told me because I remember we had this conversation the other day. Where he's like, remember when you were younger and whenever I went to go say anything, you were like, no, spoilers. Because like I'm very much about spoilers. But if somebody spoiled that for me, I would be pleasantly spoiled. Like I'd be like, oh, yes. Now I would have been mad. Honestly, after finding out that this is Karis.
Because like...
After finding out that he is Karis, it makes me want to reread the old book, his 2 first books again.
I would have been mad. Like, the reason why I wasn't mad, because you didn't know yet. Like, you were guessing that it was Karis. And you put it out there and you're like, I think this is Karis. And I was like, okay.
Talion.
Well, whatever. You wouldn't have known while reading the Broken Mirror's second book like you did because you wouldn't have known Karis. Yes, that's true. So, like, we read Sufficiently Advanced Magic first.
But I didn't know that it was Karis when I was reading those books.
You guessed on that book.
No, I guess right when I started this, right?
No, it was the end of the second Broken Mirror.
Oh, okay.
And that's, I think, what she's saying.
Oh.
Because, like, we made that prediction, I believe, in the last live stream.
No, I know, but I had already started this. I was like a chapter in.
But yeah, so...
So, I loved Dawnbringer. I loved all the 3 main characters, because there was 3 main characters.
They were really good characters. I feel like the 2 really innocent characters. And once you know that he is Talion, like...
It's like... I was like, yeah!
Like, I understand now, like, why he sounded younger. He never wants to hurt anything. Like, Andrew Rowe really did, like, delve into the Talion's character and brought a ton of aspects in... like he should, because it's the same person, but he remembered a lot of the original character and brought that into this book.
My best thing for this is that, like, it is like a Marvel series, right? So, like, those first books were like the origin story for a character, and now this Sufficiently Advanced Magic, or wherever this is leading to, and also this book was very much like, you know, the first Avenger, or, you know, like a side story of one of the main characters, and then he's gonna be a part of the new thing. So I definitely feel like Sufficiently
Advanced Magic is the Marvel, like,
Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers movies with all the characters.
Even though it doesn't have all the characters, but it has characters from both series together in one, and then this is like a, you know, it's just, I'm super excited about it. I really hope that eventually they meet up with like some of his friends. You know, I mean, I don't even know. So here's the confusing part. Is that this book, he is looking for Lydia and all his friends that are supposed to be here, and they're here for a mission. We don't really know.
I feel like...
No, didn't they want to ask for assistance from the gods, right? From the gods from this world, this land.
I don't remember.
That's what it was, yeah. So he's here trying to ask, like, get assistance from the gods, and that seems like that's what he's still doing in the new one. In Sufficiently Advanced Magic, because he was trying to talk to Celise.
We know he's having, like, a quarrel with one of the gods.
Well, from his land, though.
No, because, like, he fought with what's-his-face. I said his name downstairs.
He's not a god, Meek. And he only fought with him because he was trying to prove how strong he was so that he can get to talk to Celise. Right? Maybe. The goddess? Because there's only, like, one known goddess in this land. in Sufficiently Advanced Magic, and that's Celise.
Um,
That's her name, right?
so
Celise?
T says that she wished you didn't say it while reading. I hope you didn't say it while reading other books because you kind of spoiled it for me. That's what I mean. Like, you can't tell people that. It's a big spoiler to some people.
Wait, what happened?
Like the Talion and Karis thing.
I mean, that was a prediction.
I haven't read any of these books, but hearing you guys talk about it makes me want to read them. You probably shouldn't be here. It'll definitely spoil stuff. But yeah, we recommend them. T said they're really good. I would like to know how long it was before Sam so I can know how old he is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he makes a reference to his age kind of. It's like early 20s.
I feel though, like, since he's like a demigod, I feel like he probably
Is he?
he may not
Well,
age.
oh, yeah,
I mean, that's what everybody thinks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We don't
yeah.
know, but based on his power level, like, fudge, man, he's so strong.
There's a thing that I think was a bit meh when he could have asked for anything and he wanted to save fake Lydia, but that's so Talion.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the problem. It's like Goku.
He is, but that's his character, and he will always be like that. He will always save his comrades, and Corrin is very much like that. Like, they'll always save their friends before doing their actual, like, overall mission or whatever they think.
Did you listen to the end when Corrin was talking and how different they sound?
No.
Corrin is like way whinier. It's just because you probably don't remember what Corrin sounds like. But at the
Maybe.
end of the book, the audio book, you hear Corrin like responding to what's her face because she was being sassy to him, and he's like talking about his planning or whatever, and he sounds way whinier than Karis. I think Karis is pretty much like his natural voice, probably.
We're kind of spoiling 5 books at once for people who didn't read them. True.
But this is like the 5th book in a series.
Yes, I feel like you really should read all the other ones before
I definitely
reading
think
this.
you should. Yeah, I don't think that this you can't appreciate this. It's like
Sit.
it is like watching like the Endgame. It's like watching Endgame, and not having watched 10 years of Marvel movies.
Bye, Christy.
Do you agree?
Yeah, you need to watch the
It's
other
like you'll like it. It'll still be a cool movie, but you'll be like, why? Who the hell is that? And
Why
why
are
are they
this?
doing that?
She said, yeah, but she's not really. You should ask for something that really can save a friend later. I agreed. I thought that was a little ridiculous. Like, he was saving this, like, fake, not fake, but, like, soul that wasn't really Lydia, but, like, he wanted to give this soul,
The whole
like,
summoning
a life.
the whole summoning thing in this world is very strange. How they can summon the summoned creatures and stuff, but they're like they have their own sentience until they disappear, and then once they disappear, they're almost like a shadow clone. But the shadow clone can think for itself, and it's not directly connected.
Well, I think that's what the Lydia thing you're talking about.
Yeah, that and also summoning creatures. Like
Yeah.
what's his name? What's the stone angel guy that Sarah has?
Oh, I don't remember.
Do you
But
remember him?
I remember him.
Yeah. So, like, it's very much like him. Like, he has his own personality, but remember that he wasn't the original creature. He was a summoned creature that she took control of the summoned creature of the original. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's basically like they die when they disappear.
She said, that's why I'm saying that for people who didn't read them so they can understand. Okay. But he doesn't write stuff for no reason. It'll probably be used later. Yeah. I mean, he does seem to be very in-depth. Like, I want to know how he writes. Because he has so many in-depth things, so many characters, like, side characters, like, characters that they just mention, like, once or twice, and then you don't hear from...
I wonder if we can contact them. That'd be cool.
Like, an interview?
Yeah.
I wonder where he lives. But
No,
like,
I don't mean like in real life. I mean, we could do it
but
on...
it'd be cool if he lived, like, a few hours away.
Yeah.
Like, Ari Salvatore.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Like, I want to know his writing process.
I gave
because
this
it's
like
so
a
in-depth.
like a 5.5.
So a star.
I really liked it. It was my kind of book. Definitely more than the Broken Mirrors, the first 2 Broken Mirrors series. Like, I liked those. I like them more now that I know the secrets of the world. But I really like Sufficiently Advanced Magic, and I think this was on par with Sufficiently Advanced Magic.
Yeah,
series.
you really liked that book.
I really like those books. So, when's the next Arcane... Wait, not Arcane
We gotta
Ascension.
wait for it to come.
Is it Arcane Ascension?
No, the Broken Mirror is the next one that we need
No,
to
no.
read.
What's the next sufficiently advanced magic? Isn't there Arcane Ascension?
Ascension.
Okay, when is it?
I don't
Or
know.
what is it? When is it? What is it called? Bro, hurry up, bro.
We have to just wait for him to have the audiobook to the Broken Mirrors
And
3.
then, yep, and then
Because
we'll
you
get
can
that.
get it in paperback
But
now.
honestly, like, reading this book made me more excited about that. Because now I want to know how they get to the point where they're at now. Because obviously Broken Mirrors takes place before.
Yeah. Quite a while before, I feel like. Well, I feel like at the end of the Broken Mirrors series is where it's going to mesh
Maybe
into this.
part 3?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So, T says, I'm curious about the third Broken Mirror. It's coming my way. So did you order the paperback? Because I think he released it like ebook, then paperback, and then audio once he's able to get it done. What kind of power does Karis have? They mentioned 3. They mentioned the sword and stone magic, and then he has a third one.
You mean the metal?
Yeah, the
sword.
metal and stone.
So the way that magic works from Karis's land is like, it's like mana, right? They have mana, but they pull the mana from their like bodies themselves, and the more they use, the stronger they get with it. So if you can manipulate metals or stone, the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more mana pool you have that you could pull from. But again, it pulls from your body. So if you use fire mana or fire, you're pulling your body heat away basically. And if you use too much, you can like kill yourself because you're just draining all your heat from your body. And now in sufficiently advanced magic, it's a little bit different because the way that they get powers is from attunements that they get by like going to a spire. They go to a spire to prove themselves, basically. When teenagers become a certain age, they go through like a trial at this tower, and it's basically like puzzle rooms that could kill you. And if they make it far enough into it, they get awarded like a boon, which is a attunement of some kind, and that could be like you could be like a summoner, or you could be a healer, or you could be like some sort of fighter where you get like a lot. It's basically like, think of like classic like video game classes almost, but you get it random, and it could be placed in different parts of your body depending on the part of your body that it is. It can affect like it could be on your lungs, and that means that it's like vocal, so you have to say your spells. If it's in your like on your head or something, it'll be like that's the brain. That's what's his face is, right? It'll be like it can affect your memory and stuff like that, and your knowledge. And if it's like it could be like in your heart and stuff. So like depending on where it's located on your body, it affects different parts. But also, there's a lot of like science to it. It's really nice. If you like dumb nerdy like stuff like that, that's like my favorite type of fake science and all that stuff. It's my favorite. That's what I love about it.
So Kerbo says, I like the dynamics between the 3 main characters. Yeah, they were the best. Like, you're talking, like, in this book specifically.
I like how they added the
Dawnbringer and Rhaegar.
I like the dragon thing, because, like, in Sufficiently Advanced Magic, like, they never really... They mention dragons, but they never really, like...
Yeah.
It's serpents, right? The serpent spire and everything. So, so I liked that they did that. I like that they added that he added the relationship between, like, dragons and like, the serpents. They're similar but different, you know, She took offense to it. I love the Hydra thing. That was super cool.
Yeah.
That was like awesome. I loved that.
T said sight mana, you can go blind by using it, for example. I can't wait to know how Karis got stuck in the tower. I want to know that too, because he's essentially like in prison.
No, they kind of talk about it. He was like roaming around, and then he started cutting through the walls or whatever, and he fell into a trap. And then and then because the people were there, he didn't want to hurt them because he was afraid that if he tried to break something, it would kill everybody else. Remember? That's why he could have broken out at any point.
Yeah.
And remember that they mentioned that his sword is like unlimited power.
So I thought that was really cool.
Unknowledgeable. What am I trying to say? What did the creature say?
I don't remember.
Basically, like unmeasurable, I think was the word.
So what I thought was really cool too is how they explained that because he's essentially like taken in so much of that destructive magic, like he's become destructive himself, and he is like so much much more powerful than he should be, essentially, because of that sword dumping that magic into him. And I like how they explain how that breaks down like everything that he comes into contact with, basically, besides the magic sword.
Remember when he was making the pact with the sword?
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, repeat after me. And she did some silly thing. I literally laughed out loud. I laughed out loud so many times when that sword was talking.
My favorite part was the "Yay, we're flying!" And 2 seconds later, "Yay, we're falling!"
I didn't think that was that funny, but I like that you liked it.
I love it. She said I forgot about that. Dude, I thought that was so cool. Like they talk about like, and that explains so much even from the broken mirrors, because the teachers were confused as to why they put protective spells on him, and it would just like fizzle out after like a certain amount of time, because essentially like his body gives off this destructive aura, so now his clothing gets damaged and his armor gets damaged. Like he can never have something for very long because he is destructive himself.
I just got goosebumps because I was thinking about like I want to know like where this is gonna go. Like I'm wondering how far Andrew Rowe is gonna take the characters. Like if there's ever gonna be a time leap, because like I want to see Corin older. Like I want to see where their group like maybe like a 5-year jump, like where like something happens and then we come back to these characters that are like slightly older and like way more powerful, because it's been like a year and they got so powerful.
Yeah.
It definitely has that like Naruto. So one thing that I'm afraid of is because it's like power scaling is a very hard thing to keep control of in fantasy. If it's not something that's not grounded in like very weak powers, like a Lord of the Rings is very weak. Everybody's super freaking weak in that thing. You can summon armies, but like everything is very grounded in reality. Like the orcs aren't casting fireballs at everybody. They have bows and arrows.
No, but you do have like the ultimate, like Saruman and Sauron.
Okay,
like
and
extremely...
again, Lord of the Rings. How often did they fight casting crazy spells that destroyed cities? They didn't. That's my point. Is they were very much like they would summon creatures. That was like their biggest thing, is like, oh, we have this army of things, and that's really it. Game of Thrones, same thing. It's very like based on reality. So what I'm saying is this has if he doesn't keep this tight, there's a very easy chance that we're going to be like, it's going to be Dragon Ball Z pretty soon. Enemy guys are going to be shooting like energy beams and power battles and like all that stuff. So I'm hoping it doesn't. I hope he keeps it tight like it's been. But
she said the first draft of the second one is done. The second one of this, the
beautiful.
She said the guy writes so fast. He really does write pretty fast. Like considering because these books look tiny, but this is a dense book, and their pages are pretty like long and the text is small. So like these books take me a while to read. She said, what's diamantine? There's going to be a new Hunger Games, apparently. I have heard of that. You shall not pass.
Diamantine? Isn't that a type of metal?
His power level's over 9,000. Does Karis defeat all god beasts? No, not that we know of.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Diamonds made of or reminiscent of diamonds.
That's what that word means, T.
But like, oh, that's the name of the next Karis book.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because he's been changing the crystal. Remember, he's been modifying that crystal. So maybe he'll be able to.
Dude, he's so overpowered. He's so. But I mean, it would make sense if he was a demigod. Like,
I mean, so the legend, or everybody thinks that he's like the son of.
Well, and basically that guy
or reincarnation or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever his name was in the second book.
Oh yeah, that he was like given to him or whatever.
Yeah, with that sword, and the guy basically says that sword is broken or not functioning properly, because it shouldn't be doing that.
I think it's a Karis thing though. I think Karis is not tapping into the power properly.
It took me a while to get through the second Broken Mirrors book, if that's what you're talking about, or did you just mean it took you a while to get through the audiobook also? I
definitely feel like
they are long books.
And then this new book, I think his writing has improved into something more that I like books. Not to say that his old books were bad or written badly, like a million times better than I could ever write. But compared to the way that he writes now, I just like it better. He's definitely matured in a way that I like. You know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Okay.
He's overpowered, but he doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't know how powerful he is yet.
I think it's more like...
I think he does, though, because he makes comments to people, like, all the time, like, basically, like, I'm really powerful. Like, are you sure you want to, like,
it's only because of that sword.
fight me?
If he didn't have the sword, he wouldn't be as powerful.
And then, like, but people are like, oh, let's do this. And he's like, nah, I don't want to fight you because I'll hurt you, type of a thing. Like, he knows how powerful he is.
His sword, though, it's all about that sword.
She said that's because he's confident.
He's overconfident, definitely, and he definitely always wants to fight. But I feel like his sword is what makes him super powerful.
Oh, you haven't read any of the other books? You should.
Because he doesn't wanna.
He's afraid of his sword.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to use it because he doesn't
really understand it. Maybe he does more at this point because this is later.
But it's also like his biggest fear. Remember when he had to fight he had to go into that encounter where he had the evil self destroyed everybody, cut everybody in half.
When this book?
Yes. When he had to save Lydia.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I liked it, guys.
I did too. It was definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
The only thing that I didn't like about it was too short. It could have been like 4 times longer, and I would have been happy with that. Give me some fluff. Like, I like his fluff. I like Andrew Rose fluff. It's my favorite kind of fluff. You know, a lot of like, I don't mind. Like, okay, so there was a whole arc in the second one where Corin and Mara go on a side quest.
Yeah. Her side quest.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. It didn't really need to be there. It could have been cut, but I loved that it was in there.
I wonder who edits his work.
He
edits his own stuff.
I love that it was in there. Honestly, like, I want to do that for a D&D quest. Like, I want to have that exact same quest as a D&D quest. I think it would be awesome.
So make it.
I will.
But anyone who's read it that plays with you will know how to do it.
So?
I won't remember, though.
You won't remember.
I remember it had something to do with, like, didn't it have something to do with spiders and, like, metal
It
webs?
was legit, like, a D&D quest. Like, like, they went into a room, they had to figure out the part of it. Like, I honestly, like, think that there are so many cool inspirations in these books for D&D. Like, even if you go to a tower, that you have to make it through certain rooms, and there's puzzles in every room. Like, I love it.
Yeah. So, our next books, in case you don't remember, he's probably a D&D fan.
Well, he's a LARPer.
I think he's mentioned that he is. So, on November 10th, we're going to be talking about these 2 books. So, we have Bands of Mourning, the 6th book in the Mistborn series. This one's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Way of Kings, this enormous book, is going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on
that guy dabbing?
November 10th.
Oh, I thought he was dabbing.
Oh.
I just realized there's a guy across the thing. Like, there's 2 guys. There's a little guy there, and there's a big guy here.
I don't know what that means. Way of Kings is flame game? What is that?
I don't know, man. Good, I think.
So I'm like...
Oh, there's a cool map thing.
Don't break the book.
I didn't, look. I thought this was the crappy one.
Yeah, but still, I don't want it to die. So I'm like...
Everybody hypes up this book. I really hope it's good.
I'm like a couple hundred pages into Bands of Mourning.
I'm afraid that it's not going to be good. I want to finish off all my other books before I start this, because I want to just, like, eat it all up. I don't want to have anything else in my head.
Way of Kings is actually a way of life. There's cool stuff all the way through the book. Oh,
Good.
like that?
I hope so.
You have this edition, T. I don't really want to spoil
Did
myself.
T already start it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm like 200 pages into this, and I'm liking it pretty much just as much as the other ones. They're good, and what makes this series is the characters. Without the characters, the series would suck. Like, there's nothing really going on, in my opinion.
She's
She's at 80 pages.
I started it too. I think I'm a couple hours in, maybe.
Excuse me.
I like it.
But I feel like
the
there's a lot
most
of
so
character
far.
development.
Yeah.
Like Steris is becoming a much bigger character.
Steris?
Yeah.
Oh, the girl?
They're all becoming bigger characters and just like more in depth, and I like it. So I'm enjoying it.
So, you already said when that was?
I always like Milan too. She's funny.
Yeah, she's great.
There's one part in this book that I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. So 5 pages for a normal book. I know. He writes such dense
Are you
books.
okay?
Nope, I can't English.
Yeah. We were talking earlier today, and like
all 3 of us like effed something
I
up.
completely messed up a word, and I was just like, and then you were like, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what's happening
It's
right
catchy. So I hope you guys are able to read these and join. I know T doesn't. Are you gonna, if you finish Way of Kings early, are you gonna read this or no? I'm just wondering, T. You don't have to, but
now. If you what?
if she finishes this before November 10th, I was wondering if she was gonna read this.
Oh. She didn't like the other ones that much?
Yeah, she doesn't really want to. I don't know if she'll finish ever, but she didn't want to right now. She said, I will see. I only have access to the ebook on Overdrive, so I might not.
Well,
I could try to share it to you if you give me a different email. I don't know.
I hope you guys like this. This was fun. I hope you guys liked that book because it was great. I know only a few of you guys read it, but
yeah, we should make a video of like this live stream.
You guys should
because a lot of
tweet
people
this video to Andrew Rowe so that we can
get an interview.
Talk to him about books.
We should do a separate video for this live stream, meaning like announcing this live stream because like a ton of people have read this book. And I'm sure a lot of people will. We should share Sam video. We'll share all of them. You mentioned something before and I didn't read it out loud and now I can't remember. You said he has Andrew Rowe has what? You said like a Facebook and something else? I don't have Facebook, so I don't even know how to look up people on Facebook.
Me neither.
But, a blog and a Facebook page. I think I've seen...
I've been to his website. Yeah, that's probably the blog. It's probably the same thing.
Yeah, it uses a weird
format?
Website engine or whatever. But that's it.
Thanks, y'all.
We have a blog coming out.
We have a vlog coming out and
WordPress, yeah.
Some crates coming out. And we got some new bookshelves. So we're gonna be doing a video about that.
She
hopefully
saw
in the
it
next
already.
couple
Was it good?
weeks.
You can be honest if it wasn't, so we know what to approve upon. Can't talk today.
No.
Yeah.
We can't.
She said, yeah, it was.
She's the only one that said anything in the last, 5 minutes.
I know, right? All right, guys. Hope you enjoy some Brandon Sanderson, and we will talk to you
And go read all the Sufficiently Advanced Magic books and Mirror books if you haven't read them, if you're still here. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bye. Say bye, Meek.
Bye, Meek.
Bye.